Bienvenidos mis amigos a la Crypto Show con Road Dog. Welcome everyone to Late Night Crypto Charts with the Road Dog. We're getting ready to get started. Please fasten your seatbelts. There have been some complaints from the waitresses tonight that there's been some inadequate groping. Please control yourselves, gentlemen. And please do not harass the sausage. I think my horrible Spanish just chased off a bunch of people, but let's get started anyway. Welcome everybody to Late Night Charts. Let's go ahead and get started. Excuse me, while I test my microphone now one more time here. Or maybe it's the first time. I should have tested it out the first time. My sincere apologies to everyone here for being the boomer that I am and hitting the wrong button, apparently. So I've just been chatting away, so... Wow. Is that right? Let me... He can't hear us. All these levels, the tacos look delicious. Chris says this is funniest. Yeah, my boomer moments. So I'm taking it that you can hear me now, right? So all the silly stuff I said before, I don't have to repeat it. Striga says, I'm waving my arms through the screen. Oh. Well, let's see if I can just recap all of that. Basically, looking at the monthly candle close, let's just go over that. I think this is an easy chart to look at. It is starting to look bullish. But remember, the larger time frames, we still have some warning signs there to go through. This is not the best chart to look at this on. Here we go. So everybody ad nauseum knows that I'm kind of looking for that, but I'm also keeping my eye out. And what I was talking about is the possibility of a Wyckoff situation, and that's more on the weekly time frame to kind of track that. And I do kind of like this other chart. Well, damn, excuse my language. There was also this idea here of us being in this channel, which this line comes from this angle. So we have not covered that. Overall, the monthly looks good on the regular candles. Getting a great start there, but we're still in this little zone here between the 21 and the 50 in that little range, and you can't really see what's going on until you kind of come back to the weekly. And we've still not broke this level. And by certain candles and whatever chart you're looking at, sometimes it touched it more than 1, 2, 3 times. Like once here, 2 right there. So 3 times, 3 touches in that area, giving us support there. So yeah, I'm seeing a lift to the upside, but we could easily, you know, come up to these areas. I'm not seeing anything past 30,000, but it might be a fun trade, a fun ride up there if we can do that. 28 is actually more of an area that I'm looking for. But the smaller time frames, including the weekly, which is normally seen as a bigger time frame, is looking more promising. It's not looking golden, it's just looking more promising. We were still down. This line here has not crossed yet, and this has not actually come up above 0. So we're just showing some signs of maybe a turnaround, which would be welcome. And it does fit with our Ichimoku cloud here on the weekly, and that's what I was explaining. So the possibility of talking about head and shoulders, but a lot of us are starting to see that now. A lot of other people starting to come up with that too. But also what I was talking about was the possibility of this being a bigger range, and there may be a wick down, and this may be a Wyckoff accumulation that we're looking at here. And so playing through this range, which is probably better seen over here. So yeah, we can definitely come up, and we can definitely just keep bouncing through here. And that does kind of fit our narrative through this point of the market. That's a very plausible situation. And through one of these, it may try to come down and freak everybody out with a spring, and then, you know, go to the upside. That's a favorite trick of the bigger players. They like to do that kind of thing. So that's another scenario besides, you know, head and shoulders out and then go down. That's not the only thing we're looking at. And my Ichimoku cloud doesn't suggest that if we come down, that we're coming down that low. It's this whole setup that we've been looking at for this whole year almost, or most of it, when we got in this cloud, is for eventually to pop us to the upside. And then we ride this green cloud on higher. So it's still saying that. So a range scenarios is starting to grow on me, but we just have to watch it and see. But right now we're looking a little bit bullish, and that's good. That's good. The big hurdle is going to be coming over this trend line right here. Are we going to make it? Because that's a pretty big trend line right there that we're having to fight our way through. And the daily says, well, we've got a red cloud there, so we got a shot, because the price likes to go through those red clouds. I need a chart that's just clean, man. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. And our other guys over here, we got Bitcoin dominance finding support here on the 4 hour. She's looking a little bit like she wants to go up, and you're not showing me my indicators, man. What's up? The dollar is also looking a little healthy there too after this little decline. Over the top right hand corner of the screen here, I've got total market cap, total 3, which is spot. Could it be a double top, or could it be working its way up? And of course we got Tether dominance, which has been declining. So that's saying people are now coming out of Tether. Although it's leveling out right now. We'll have to see what they're doing. Leveling out, but they've been coming out, and that's why we've been going up in some of these altcoins over these past few days. Now we're starting to get a little bit iffy here. So with our altcoins, are they going to continue to climb? It's an interesting scene to see that a lot of the meme coins are starting to pump up a little bit. Harry Mama Osonic, whatever, Inu, Mr. Harry is up a little bit. Is he over on Mixie? Is that you, Harry Potter? So currently coming up to around 9 cents right there. Make sure I got the right one. I'm pretty sure it being on KuCoin, that is the same one. Yeah, okay. Well, let's stick with KuCoin there. Striga says if we stay above this level for a monthly close, we should be golden. We got off to a good start on that. I got too many dang Bitcoin charts. Oh, yeah, it was this one. No, it wasn't that one. Where did it go? Screw it, we'll come back to it later. There's one where I got the range spelled out, but that's what I like it. I like it. Squirrel brain is happening to me really bad right now. We're gonna get back on track with Harry Potter because he's a meme coin, and he's over on Mexi, and he's been. I'm not a big meme coin person. What I'm wondering is, will meme coins start going up? Is this the end? Look at this though, nice. This is actually one that, believe it or not, Doken Metrics recommends this one. They also recommend Rip, so, you know, I do kind of question them sometimes. It was a good trade, though. So she's been going up for a little bit, kind of doing this nice little rounding shape. So that's kind of interesting to watch there. Watch me curse it, just like I cursed ETE. I don't know. Every time I draw these lines, it just seems to make these coins want to just keel over and do something totally different. But they should fill out, and it's supposed to be a good sign. So if this one breaks to the upside of this, oh, this thing could go crazy. But right now it's finding some rejection here at the mystical 366 moving average right there, which you can hardly see at all. Just put you back in a line. So I found that interesting, but we're still above the 9 moving average there. Looking a little strong. Now this 100 will cross over that 200, which is normally, you know, a bullish signal, but not always immediately. Sometimes you will see prices kind of start falling down a little bit when it gets there. I've noticed that happening a little bit lately. But she does usually get a bounce. So we could see this one pull back to 7.8 cents. Very quite possible. But she's been going up, and how much has she went up? I mean, that's a good 40% move from down here when it was 6 cents there. And when she flipped over onto out of the red cloud and above and started right in the green, this is my example. This is what we can expect on the bigger time frames, like for Bitcoin. We have to struggle through the red cloud, and then we pop out, and then we start riding above the green cloud. Yeah, that's the scenario of the weekly Bitcoin chart. We're getting it spit out above the cloud, and then we can start trying to ride it above. So Harry's had a good day today. So shout out to everybody in the chat room, and you guys have been patient with me. You definitely got my chat rate up, didn't you? No, it's not telling me right now. Chris says, I bet he's saying some good stuff too. Oh, I don't know if it was or not. Cold mic. All right. Sell signal on the monthly. On Bitcoin, yeah, well, it's had one for a little bit though. It was just confirmed, and mostly talking about. Oh, she just got. Looky there, Bitcoin. See, we're sideways. This is the 4 hour. It just got the red dot. Now things are starting to flip flop on Bitcoin. Interesting. She's still above the 9 moving average on the 4 hours, so that's cool. So confirmed red dot there. But, you know, our stochastic started going back up again. The MACD is what I really want to follow most on this. And it's a lagging indicator. It's a little bit behind, but that's the one I want to keep mostly in my radar. And it just spells sideways you know, chop, not the best time to be trading, kind of is what it says. And in some cases, I think it's true, because the chop will eat up your profits if you let it. Weekly is trying to look a little bit better on the MACD, but will it stick? You know, will it stick? But short term, I'm interested to see what happens this week on Bitcoin. Striga says, I got my few bucks out of that ETE. Let's take a look at ETE. It was tanking last night, and I wanted to just track it because it had some very interesting price action. And there it is on the day. It's down to, oh, still testing 21 moving average on the daily chart. Not enough time for indicators to be fully developed on the other ones. Translates on the 4 hour. We lost the 100. Not looking so great there, baby. So rising wedge breaking to the downside and then some. Looking more at the pattern. So we got this target marked out at what, 6 cents. And my curiosity was because when it first broke on those time frames, there wasn't a cross. And still here on the daily, I'm still interested to see how this plays out, because it will be attracted right back to that 9 moving average. So we may still see, they may be pumping and dumping this thing. I don't know. It may hit 6 and they may take off because cloud still looks good. It's a little sliver of red there. So yeah, I'm still kind of curious how this one plays out. It still makes me think that there's something there that may pump it back up, and I would say probably to retest this trend line here. I think I said that last night too. Don't want to keep repeating myself. So we also got to look at Pepe, because it's been a little hot lately. Like it's got a second chance at life here or something. I don't know, man. But she's been doing good lately. Hey, that reminds me. I got a paper trade. It's not a real paper trade. It's not a real trade, but Pepe's on there, and I couldn't sell it because, I don't know, for some reason it wouldn't let me sell it. So I guess I'm riding the Pepe train. Where are you? I think it's, yeah, this one. It's still down $1,200. Crazy. It was up 400. I remember seeing it up $400, and I tried to sell it, and I don't know, whatever reason, it wouldn't let me do it. You can paper trade on TradingView, and that's kind of a cool feature. Don't know how it would work for day trading, but I guess it should work fine, but swing trades and things like that, practicing. So Pepe looking interested in here, like it wants to break out. Pepe break out? Pepe could see a bunch of zeros in 18,688. He's currently at 78.86, so that would be a nice little 2x. I don't know if that's enough for the degen in most people. Still got some targets up here. Pepe. Which Pepe do I need to buy? Oh gosh. This is the classic Pepe. Striga says I'll degen on 0.5. But it had some rounding there, so that's always nice. It's accumulation, so people were buying this up down there. And we're getting ready to, on the 4 hour, looks like she's going to try to cross the 50 over the 200, and that is her golden cross, which is a buy signal. Doesn't necessarily mean buy that instant, though. And sometimes these things will pull back on the smaller time frames after that happens, but it has not happened yet, and there's a little bit of a curve right there. You have a keen eye to see it, how she comes up and now she's snaking over. So, cautious. Make sure it's not a fake out. 1 hour time frame is testing the 50 moving average, so I'd watch that. If we break through that, it should break down to back into the pattern here. But got some interesting crosses here. The lower two are still in a bearish position though. I go my 800, the 6 devil 666 one. I feel stupid every time I say that, but it's relative. It does freaking, yeah, it respects it. And then the 366, they're in reverse order, so that's a kind of like a negative pole of a magnet, kind of pulling price back that way. But if they start crossing, then that will be some definitely good signs. And they're swinging around, so we may be coming over time. Give it some time. Pepe could be flipping the script here. The smaller time frames are flipping the other ones, and eventually they can twist them around too. So for the degens out there, there's one to keep your eye on. I think we're headed back to the 75.86 area though. It's just my personal opinion. Anyone thinking of a lev trade should start with paper trading. Definitely. That would be the smartest. That's genius, really, because if not, expect to lose. You're going to pay the price for your learning education with leverage trading. You will. I'm still paying my price learning leverage trading, so I'm good with spot and swing, but and margin, and that's a type of leverage. Now those I love that. I just can't find an exchange that does spot margin, and I don't feel comfortable doing it with perps, perpetual futures, because it doesn't let me own the coin. I want to own the coin. So I use spot margin to build big bags that KuCoin makes me have to sell. Hat Pepe's going to change the world. Hat Pepe needs some crutches because he ain't got no legs. Saul's been in no man's land for a long time. It's been doing kind of good. I've got just a little tiny trade over on Fairdesk, which I've added a little bit too. I was just playing around with Saul. I thought, well, that chart looks interesting. I don't feel like putting a bunch on it. I haven't really been in the mood to trade altcoins, but there's been some good trades out. So 1 hour, she's been doing good. I mean, we're starting to get some distance between price and the 200 moving average, which, you know, is like the 9 moving average. Prices always want to snap back to it. You can count on price snapping between the 9 and the 200. We just like to see the 9 get as far away from the 200 as possible. Take profits or get in or out of a short or long, whichever way you're playing it. 1 hour looks good. I mean, it's getting kind of up there. So day or 12 hours testing the 200 moving average. How you looking, Solana? Are you really trying to do something, or are you about to get slapped back down a little bit? So the 9 and the 21 on the day that you're down here, we're coming back to see them babies. It's just going to happen. But this 4 hour looks like it's might want to do something. 9 moving average at $20.74, and price is currently trying to make a little flag there. My line in the sand would be right here. So breaking $20.38 would not be a good sign for this coin right now. 4 hours also given the ever famous red dot on Market Cipher. See a little, I mean that's slide. I don't even know if you want to count that. I really don't count that as divergence. I'm looking for divergence. There is a little bit of a divergence there between price and the RSI, but it's still in its favor. So to me, it looks to me that price is in actually this channel. And trying to break out of that channel. And currently above that channel. Now, this could be a very bullish situation here. If it can stay above there, get that support there and start moving up, she may go up fast and heavy. So let me look for some clues here, baby. Got that red cloud, you're above the 200 if you can hold it. But man, right there, they didn't follow you. They're not following you. There's no... So we're in the perfect area for a little bear trap. So I would follow these wicks and right here. Raise that parameter a little bit. Now it did pump up, but we're still below the extremes there, so cautious. But if it can get up here around close to 22, if it can break up there and start holding that area, you may see a big ass pump out of this. And now the moving averages on the 4 hours suggest that that could happen. But most likely, probably going to get a little pullback here. Kailash says more. Where's EX going to list that? List that coin soon. Gate-O. So we did it on WSM. February 2.5. Oh, cool. What is WSM? Well, oh, the Wall Street. Oh, yeah, the Wall Street memes. You were talking. Yeah, we've looked at that, right? And so now we got charts on it. Take a look at it here. So how's she looking? Sure, I got a good chart going over this. So the 50 moving average is holding well so far. That cloud suggests that it may come in here though. After losing that line right there, looks like a double top, maybe in a funky head and shoulder. Now that double top, it's got a measured move, which is also the move for this whole channel. So. Measured move comes back down here right around where this 100 moving average is, about 4.6 cents. And that's in line with the 786 Fibonacci area right here too. So that might be an interesting buy zone or area to look at, maybe getting into it. Now the 1 hour is showing some bullish signs here on Market Cipher. It's got the green dot. There is some definite hidden bullish divergence there. So we have not yet lost this 50 moving average. If we hold that, I mean, just because we're touching the cloud doesn't mean we can't bounce and ricochet off of it. Because I see that happen quite a bit. But we did break this trend line, and there could be another up, and maybe it could double top, going back up here to what, 7 cents or something, maybe. MACD's trying to do a little bit of a turnaround here, so 1 hour is suggesting that you're looking a little bit bullish. What does the 15 say? 15 says, hell no, I want to come down some more. So 15's wanting to come at least down here to the 618. Or does it? I would say that that's not confirmed until this 9 crosses that 200. So give this one time. I would not make any quick decisions based on any of the things that I've just said, because until that crosses, that can still pop in. meaning that on the 1 hour that 50 moving average holds and then starts going to the back of the upside. So this market cipher may have that one nailed on that. So interesting to watch that. But should she not hold, then I would be looking at our measured move about 4.6 cents there. We got a red cloud here, remember, but it likes to pop through the red to get to the on the other side once we start getting close to a big thick cloud. Personally, I think she's got to come down just a little bit more, but just keep your eyes open for a scenario. If it pops back up here above this too, and it should happen quick if it's going to. Well, so I think we just now got a candle close. Is it below it? Or a candle open below it? That'd be one of the signs I look for, actually opening that candle below the 200. I mean, that's bearish. So be next looking for that to cross. And then I'd feel better about it coming down. But they may do just something like that. You never know. So here on the 1 minute, we can see that we got the 100 still hanging out up here, giving some, you know, putting some helium in the balloon to kind of keep price up just a little bit. And getting ready to get the death cross, dun dun dun, the 1 minute. So very curious. To me, I believe she's coming down to these areas. But keep an eye for them to fake out over the next few minutes, though. Peppy looks too green on degens. It's too many Peppy. There are too many Peppy. Striker says 13 level looking better, but not feeling the 16 level. Taking a look at Unibot over against Wrapped Ethereum. I'm on 3 minutes, so don't freak out. It looked really, really juicy on the 3 minute. She doesn't look like she wants to come down to make my little target down here. She looks like she wants to start taking a turn to the upside as far as Ethereum goes. Maybe she'll eventually make it down here, I don't know. But getting a little upturn there against Ethereum on good old Unibot, which is one I picked up lately, mostly trading against the dollar over on MEXC. But it looks like she's having just a little bit of an up day there. Polonia X has it. So in my dollar chart, she was definitely in my good old juicy buy area. And right here was the top of it, which we're just now at, trying to go to the upside on here. Looking promising. Okay, here is an example I want to show you guys about the 100 when it crosses over the 200. Because, you know, just saying that, it sounds very bullish, right? And it is a bullish sign, but not always immediately. Look what was happening as that 100 was coming up to cross over the 200. Price was coming down. And where did it come to? A lot of times you'll see this. It comes down to test that 100 as where it crosses over, or after it crosses over. It'll come, so I gotta go tap in with that 100. So great example of that playing out like textbook. And then here we come. And now we're flirting with the 50. Found support on that coming up. Here's the 366. That's where we got rejection over here. That's where we got rejection here. And that's where we got rejection here. And that's why I use that moving average. And looks like we are really trying to move on up. 21 is nicely above the 50 moving average. 9 is above all. They're stacking up nice. 9 crosses over that 366. I think there could be a nice little pump come out of this. And overall, here on the 4 hour, breaking out of this channel, measure move is the width of that channel. Should get us right up here too. It says about $136, $137 for Unibot, which is to me yummy. Let me clear out some of these. And I'm also looking at this area up here for a nice little sell zone, which from these areas, right where it is, right where price is now, at the very top of my buy zone, like right now, it's $64. Oh crap, what'd I do? I moved the wrong thing. I've got a target at 285. It sounds crazy, but it was a 237 and hanging around $190 for the longest. So I think this little guy could be in range, and I'll be looking at some of these lower areas too as we get there, but I think this one's going to be an interesting one. It may be a nice little, I mean, you can think of it as a hold, a swing trade. Well, I mean, definitely a swing trade, but she may have a nice little range to play is what I'm thinking. And that could be cool for a trader coin. A slow mover, I think, for the most part. I can't get this chart to do what I want it to do. I'm trying to get this little guy over. There we go. So let's measure that from where we are now to the measured move at $135. That's a 2x. 2x. Now just coming on the 4 hour up to the 200 moving average, 24%. That's at $81. You can expect that short term as we're to where we're headed. My measured move is a little bit of a longer target on this one, but she's getting some nice little bottom signals. I like that. Nice little rounding there. Nice scallop. So any cautions to look for would be breaking down past this line would not be good. That's when I would say, oh crap, I need to sell. So I like to take these from, I like to get the extreme angle. I go from the wick there and go up to my first candle body that I touch. And then it beautifully just lines up with the rest of these candle bodies and things. A little room for wicks there, but I've got an angle. And if I pull it down, that angle largely matches with those wicks. So get back over there. So currently 4 hour touching the 100 moving average, and looks like we're going to try to overtake that. This is the situation we are in with Bitcoin on this Ichimoku cloud, if you can see that. In Bitcoin, we're doing the same thing, so we're just kind of down here at the bottom right now. We kind of fell through, which this could do too. And still being bullish, but don't want to see that line break. I just don't. That's not good. That's choppy action probably. I like Bitcoin. But this is the setup we're looking for. Get above that 9, or get above the green cloud and start riding it to the upside. Spitting us out on the other side of the red cloud there on the 4 hour Unibot. So it's got some struggle. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a quick move unless it just breaks this channel. I mean, if she gets up to $70, well, she's going to have some problems at around $70 though. Because we got these areas over here that we got to, that are now resistance. We kind of lost that. So 74 would be a good little profit, short-term profit taking area. Would that be worth trading? I guess if you find this on leverage, it might, or even spot 20%. But definitely could expect that for a #1 target. On the way, I think, predicting that we're going to come up to 80. I think we're going to break through that, or even though it may have to come up and flag out a little bit before it does, it may come down a little bit before it does, but eventually I do see some more upside for you're gonna buy it. Upside to the measurement of this breakout, which would be $137 and beyond. That is my timer reminding me that I need to wrap this up. Guys, is there anything you want to take a look at? Let me know. I like to promote a community where we share coins and ideas amongst each other, because I'll be honest with you, the best groups that I've seen on YouTube's best communities and things like that is where you got somebody that's willing to look at what the chat says and look at those coins, because sometimes there's gold in there, sometimes there's shills in there, and you know, surprisingly, some of them I tried to weed out through shills and spam. We've had a little bit of that, but it was harmless. But genuine sharing of, hey man, this project looks cool, this project, let's take a look. That community involvement right there is gold. And you will find some of your best picks and your best holds from just people sharing. And of course, using your judgment, diving into the project, looking what the chart says. But I'm just saying, I like it. Chris says Blue Zale. Let's take a look at Blue Zale. I was playing around with Blue Zale, but it was moving too slow for me. So rounding is what I looked at before. They popped to the upside and come back, and ironically come back into that little rounding. How weird is that? That makes me not going to do it now, but it makes me want to go to Thomas Bukowski's site and just kind of freshen up on the scallop and see what. To me, that's, if this was a rounding bottom and we did that and came back into it, bumped out and came back into it, that would be bullish as all get up. That's how I would see it. Like this, I'd say, oh baby, we're going up right here. And this is the reverse version of Blue Zale right here. So curious. Let's look at our moving averages here. We're right here at the 200, but it looks like we're getting rejected. We look like we're getting rejected there. I would see that as getting rejected, although she gets tricky that way. Because all these others are coming up toward that one too, right? You do have this 100 moving average right here, adding a little weight to pull it price down over to it. So we got that to look for. Remember, I'm doing this in reverse mode. This is a reverse chart. But this is how I would read it if it was reverse. And what I see a lot of times is that you can get rejected here. Now on the other side of the screen means that we'd be going up in Blue Zale. But sometimes what you see, that little 9, like on here, if it stays above the 9, below it in the real life, she'll shoot up here. So let's put it back. I feel uncomfortable doing this inverted. I'm afraid people will look at it the wrong way. Our trend line has been broken. It's been broken a couple of times though. I mean, broke there, it still came out all right. Broke here, came back into it. I think this is very interesting, that little movement there, and just this idea. I probably wouldn't be looking at that if I hadn't been looking at it earlier. I probably wouldn't be thinking anything about that. But basically, you know, we were in this nice little channel, which proved out pretty well, right? I mean, if you were drawing it to the top wicks there, you would have been a little bit disappointed. If you kind of stuck with the candle bodies, it would have hit it. And now we just should be coming down to the downside of this. Down to this juicy little green box that I've got here, maybe a little bit above it, according to this one. Get a little confluence with this 366 moving average, about 11 cents, 11.5 cents. Maybe. Should I bump this little guy up? Let me see how I got him. That was probably some fib levels. And I want to respect my fibs. And yeah, it was. So I want to leave those there. And that's more the golden pocket, this 0.618 and the 0.65. I don't actually have the 0.65 marked out here because I had too much stuff. My charts are too busy as they are. I can just guesstimate. Our other moving averages, I'll give you this on Blue Zell. On the 4 hour, I mean, they're stacked right. I got 800, and I got 666 above it, and the 366, 200, the 100. It looks like it can make a recovery right here, in my personal opinion. This may be. Our channel has changed a little here. Let's go. We definitely broke that. I mean, that's extreme too, though. I'm not sold on that. Well, it could be sold on that idea. Actually comes down lower than that. Secondary trend line. Not seeing that. We got this little guy here. Get rid of this fib. Just looking at some other possibilities that we might be, could come into play, but it cuts through those. I don't trust that. It's got to be you. It's got to be you right there. You. That one. That one. Well, she's already starting to answer the question right now. She just regained the 9 moving average on the 4 hours. Let's take a look at the 15 to get a little bit more of a definite answer here. Are you looking bullish? Starting to, but not quite. A yard above the 200. That's a start. 9's above the 9 moving average is above it. And a horizontal or a little support resistance flip there. I think the little guy might be going back up. Looking to pick up ZIL about 6.2 cents. That would be great. Is she going to get down there? Zoom out here. Get away from that 1 hour. All right. Let's just get rid of all of our bias there. Look at the daily. Daily to me looks, well, that's bearish. 9 crossing 21. Hasn't happened yet, but it looks like she's on her way. And normally, just like what I'm expecting on Bitcoin on the weekly, you know, we should come down and touch this 50 at 13 at least. Grizz is looking at, dang Grizz, you looking all the way back down here? Oh wow. Grizz is looking at this area. He's in well territory right there. That's well accumulation territory, which is the best place. Ain't no doubt about it. Grizz is looking months ahead here. Grizz is gap down there one day. Oh, definitely possible. I mean, we still got some bearish undertones to work with in Q4 here. Oh, do I trust that? I trust that one a little bit better. So, I mean, overall, she's broken the trend line on the daily, and zooming out gives you the best information. It looks like, if anything, it's just doing a bearish retest on the smaller time frames. So, but the smaller time frames are starting to look, she could pop back up. Where were we on the? I feel like I'm looking at a totally different chart or something. I got this in the right order, right? Yeah. I erased it. That's right. My little rounding thing that we were looking at. That's what I was looking for. That little rounding idea. Because it's wild that it's got still holding that trend. I'm gonna put that back on there. May learn something from that. Crap. I didn't know how I drew that thing. And now I gotta touch it, and it makes me not trust it, so. Well, it was an interesting idea. There is definitely a rounding trend line there that it is oddly respecting because it ain't touching nothing else here. So I find that very interesting. And then also this weak ass trend. It's a weak one, man. One touch, two touch on the wick. So what I'm expecting to see on Blue Zell. I don't know if people will interpret this as being bearish. Oh, we're going back up again. Great. I think we're just going to kind of do a retest and then lose it. Probably retest the 50 moving average. Well, hell, if you retest that 50 moving average and your 9 crosses bullishly, there might be something. It might start leg riding. Right now, short-term time frames look a little like she could pop back up there. Have to wait and see. Strick says, hopefully Bitcoin is up. Hey, DeFi guys in the house. And Joel Garcia, man, glad to have you here. Somebody said it's Terra. Wow, okay, here we go. Joel asks, what's going on? No, can you check on Terra? I've actually got some of this. I'm not so, they got a ton of coins, so I don't like that, but I think it's got some possibilities for something. I never like it when they do this. This is just a reaccumulation. And it ends up just being kind of slow and boring. I got some good buy zones down here. Will it hit it? It hasn't hit it yet. I'm still looking for the possibility for them to come back down here. And at least retouch the, I'm on the daily here. Touch this 100 moving average, and that's just a little under 0.004. And I've got it down to 0.0022. Now, whether we can get down this far, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. Depends on how bearish it gets from after touching the 100 moving average. May get a bounce there and just start going about its business. But to me, it also looks like it's an accumulation, which is a rounding shape that it's starting to make here. So something along the lines of this is, I think, what we're going to see happen. A few little breaks in between there. And hopefully it'll come down. Well, it could, it's not showing that. It's really showing something more like this. Just skimming across the top of my buy zone. But then sometimes they break down and then it comes down and slams down there to the bottom. It's not the best time. I don't see it as being the best time to jump in. But I'm just holding what I've got. I mean, a lot of people are going to look at this as a breakout of a falling wedge, but there's no volume to support that, so that's not going to hold. So, I mean, we did break that trend line, but there's just no volume there to support it. And let's come down to the 4 hour just to get a little bit better look. And we're below the 200 on the 4 hours. So to me, that's bearish that, you know, it's more down and sideways action out of this one more than likely. Being under the 9 here suggests that we're going to lose the 100 too. And then I would start looking some lower areas. But now if it continues to hold on the 100, like it's tried to right here, if it does support it, then, you know, we're going to come up and test 0.0052 short term. Or the 200 moving average, we put it that way, because it will change over time as well. But not really, I'm not crazy about what I'm seeing here, really. It looks, oh, well. It almost looked like it had a retest of that, but if I'd go by the actual wicks there, they still got a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope. This is going to be interesting right here where these two moving averages are coming together on the 1 hour. Because that is Lucy's moving average. That's my little devil woman. And I don't know if she's going to let price pass it or not. Depends on what kind of mood she's in. I haven't quite figured her out. I just know that she's part of the game. But it looks like the 200s wanting to cross over that. Now, I'm hesitant to think that it's going to be much of a strong move because you had the 50 that crossed over the 200 right over here. It just now happened. That's your death cross. But the little cloud suggests maybe, man. Maybe on this 1 hour we're coming back up and finding support on this trend line. So I think that's very interesting. 15-minute, do you concur? Or you got something different going on? 15-minute concurs because it's regained the 200 moving average above the 9. It's ready to play ball, baby. She's ready to do something on the 15. Kinda. It looks like a struggle, honestly. It's going to be struggling through this area. So I'd be surprised by a quick pump. I see a fight as it starts fighting through 0.005. Just that one fraction of a penny that just got to work through is going to be hard for it. But is there potential for it to get a pump up to a higher level? There is. It's not a great. I can't call it that. Well, I could call it that. If we do come back up here, then we've got a funky looking possible inverted head and shoulders. Well, I'm not even going to call it funky because as long as this shoulder is not as deep as this one, it's in your favor. So if this scenario plays out, this is what you got. Possible move up to this area 0.0067. And I need to label that so I know what I'm seeing. But the pattern's got to confirm first. So it's a possible inverted head and shoulders. So once we come up to this trend line, that'll be its confirmation. Ichimoku Cloud supports this idea as we are in the middle of the red cloud getting ready to pump up to above, hopefully above a green one. There's another little sliver of red here. That's indicating that there's going to be a little struggle, but that can flip green again and you start riding the cloud to the upside. So that's really what I'm seeing here. I'm on the 8. Oh, I'm on a weird freaking time frame too. I thought I was on the 1 hour. I'm on the 8 hour. So this is kind of a bullish thing in the larger time on the 8 hour. It was just the smaller time frames. The 1 hour is not kind of liking it at the moment. The 1 hour's got some work to do. And this is where we saw the but that's a bullish sign. If that 200 crosses over that 666. Then this coin is blessed for some more upward movement, in my opinion. So I see some possibility coming up on this, but nothing confirmed until, you know, at least confirming that possible head and shoulders inverted. Striker says time to degen. Striker says fine, F-I-N-E, my run. I don't even know what that is. Fine. It's on Mexi. Is it on Bitmart? Come on, Bitmart. Are you over here? Oh, come on. Now I gotta sign in. I'm not going through all this. Alright. I just want to see if you're on there. Fine is over on Bitmart. Check that out. Let's look at it over here. Let's make the Bitmart people happy. It's a cool exchange they're like KuCoin and Binance, and I mean they got and Mixi with all these degen coins and things. They got a huge list of them. I mean, Spot somehow it's not came in. Oh, because I got it typed up there. Big old list of them. Some of them I've never heard of. Gorcher, Viral, HPO. I don't know, but some of these guys are up. Burn is up. We need to start looking at some of these coins. If we're going to talk about degen, we can degen over on Bitmart. So right now I'm just trying to get this box out of my way so we can look at this chart, or I'm just going to get tired of it and come over here. Sorry, Bitmart. So for 8 hours, lost its 9. Well, we got the cloud on your on your side, but the moving averages aren't looking so high right now. Makes sense to me. Ooh, that would suck to come down to 670. These don't usually play out. They usually play about 61% of the place, which kind of give us a double bottom here. So I'm looking for a possible double bottom out of this little guy. Possible. Unless it wants to come lower, it could. Let's see what the... Our fibs say we are at a 786, which is a nice little juicy area for a possible turnaround, but is below the non-moving average on the 1 hour, with a few other crosses here potentially dragging us down. I think I would pay attention to the 886 level on this one, because I think right around here might be an interesting area. And then again, it could come down and revisit the other bottom that it had back in just a few days ago, not too long ago. Who's this guy? Okay, now this is cool. 12 hour. Get rid of that Fibonacci. Here's what you got going in your favor, Strega. You got the 9 above the 21 on the 12 hour right there. That's bullish. So it's lost it, but they just now crossed. They're not just going to snap their fingers and uncross. It's going to take many hours for them to uncross, meaning that this one can flip back around. Daily says it hasn't closed a candle below the 9 on the daily, and that's the only moving average I've got on the daily. Oh, let's see. Just look for some other signs here. I thought we just saw that is the 12 hour. 12 hour looks like it's got some hope to reclaim it. That spike, I don't like that. All right, make sure I'm not flip-flopping on anything here. I mean, it sounds like it, I guess. Some people. There's a possibility to come back to the 886 area. That's somewhere right here. I'll even take it from the very bottom there. So that's like 1100 right in that area. And it found support on the 786 and is trying to retest it. Now, if it holds that, that's a good sign. So if it comes back to 1270 and holds it, that's a good sign. What you may be looking at, a retest of the trend line. So it could, bounce from any of these areas right through here, come back up to this point where it broke out. kind of move are we looking at there? That's a 24 to 30% move just to go back up for a retest, and it may ride it on up. The Ichimoku cloud is getting thick over here on the 1 hour, and that's going to be acting like a magnet for it eventually. The closer that it gets to it, so the more candles we print, and this keeps getting thick, the more likely it is to actually bounce in this area and go back into that cloud. So there's a possibility of a bounce in one of these two areas, 1270 or 11. But how far that bounce goes, well, that's anybody's guess. That would depend overall. We don't have enough information on the daily to kind of get a feel for that. So, do a little forecasting. I see this. I got you here. I got it at 1162. Let's see if that hits. And let's pretend it goes back to the 886 area here, mark off some areas. That 618 would be right up here in this area of 1968. And the 50 right there at 1804. So is there a trade to have between there? That's 50%, 68%. There might be. If it comes down this area, I just use a voodoo technique there just to get 11. I no guarantees that we hit at all, but I was just trying out something there. I want to test it. 1169. But the bounce could easily be right here at the 786. And one idea that we could, let's color that different. One idea that we could look at, let's come down the smaller time frame, say the 15. And we'll take our Fibonacci, take it from this swing low to that swing high, and see where we're at here. We're at the 618, finding support there. That's a good sign. And it's 786. If it loses this, it's right down here in our little zone that we're looking at I'm looking at for it to come to. So the moving average is here. It's below the 9, so it's got a little sliver of green over there though. Your 21 and your 50 are at the same place. I think she's trying to find support right here. If anyone was to trade this, you could put some extremely tight stop losses right here. I mean, it's almost a cool trade. I mean, right here at the 618, it's perfect. You could go leverage and everything on it. Just put a really tight, like a 1%, just right under those wicks right here. I would, and do using leverage this is like a 100x trade or something crazy like that. And where was it? 618. That'd be a 20 to 1 risk to reward ratio. But I mean, you could easily get stopped out, but you're just getting stopped out 1% of whatever you put in. I think that looks like a killer trade. I would risk that. I might risk that. I'm going to risk that. I'm going to take a quick look at my 1 minute right now. Because getting into a trade, I like to see what's going on in the smaller time frames, kind of sniping in. This one's looking a little iffy though. I just think I'm just gonna put an order in. Because you're 21. All right. I'm actually gonna pull this trade right here. So stop losses. Smart would be go below this wick right over here. And that makes a 136 looks good. You could probably get by, actually, a little bit higher chance to get stopped out here, but it stopped out less at 1%. I'll have to see which one I want to go with. But I think my limit order should be put, well, on the 9 if you want it to get hit. I think this area right here. 1334. See if I can find over here on MEXC. I don't have it on MEXC. Why don't I have the... is it a VPN thing? Hate that. It's not showing up for me. Well, that sucks. Does it show up at all? So I'm sitting here charting it over on MEXC, and it's only available on spot, so it's not available on futures. Okay, that must be it. So no, this chart, what does this chart say? Okay, I thought it was a futures. Okay. So, well, that makes it easier. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so you can't leverage up on it. So is it worth taking the trade then? It's like 24%. Yeah, that's right. It's worth it. I'll do that on spot. I think it was what, 1340. Forgot what my entry was. Oh man, I'm screwing up my charts here. Come here, baby. Oh, well, 9 is going up there, baby. So it's getting rejected at the 200. You got to come back. So I'm looking at you 100, baby. You got to come back. Come back to 100 or the 50. And the 21's down here at the 50. That looks good to me. 1328. Ironically, that's where the price is on MEXC at the moment. If you haven't noticed that, you have a fair price, and then you have where the futures people are saying, we think it's going to go back there too. So if you think that you're going to sell, you're screwed or selling at 1345. You're only going to get 1329 out of it. So they seem to agree with me on that. I want to try that. I ain't gonna put that. I'm just putting this is a tiny thing. See if this little guy gets hit and see what he does. I'd do 20% off of that on that. All right, now she looks like she wants to go back up on the 1 minute, and my entry is right down here, so I just have to wait for it to get hit. So let the trade come to me, not going to chase it. See how that little guy goes. Try to don't put that much. All right, I set another limit order right under, just a little bit above that. All right. Striker says, I'm seeing it on the ETH side, but the MEXC looks easier to trade. Wall Street memes, there's another funny one. Zeph on MEXC. Joe asks, Zeph on MEXC, I think it's done correct. And any thoughts on it? Let's see. Still under the 9 on the daily, 4 hour. 4 hours retesting the 21 after the 9 crossed over. That was good, but indicators are saying She's still got a little bit of a downward momentum there. It got rejected off the 50. So where's our 100? We don't have one here. Okay. Let's do you on the 1 hour. She got rejected off of the 200. She's in the middle of a red cloud, so that's a good sign, in my personal opinion. There's a lot of noise on this chart. Lots of noise. So this is at what, $3.05? There's just not enough price information to get a good feel for it. So let's see what we can get. So I'm gonna get the angle. Is that right? So it's fairly accurate. I'll go ahead and put that one down to this candle. So overall, I mean, this is bullish. Right now, your 4 hours saying it is tired. So we gotta look at this trend line that's in danger and lose, or it may have already lost it, coming down to a smaller time frame. So if she's broken trend, she probably ain't done yet. Let's see. Man, that's noisy. Noisy chart.
I think they influenced by me. They're sitting up with me, alright. Wish Shawty looking at me. She want me to slide for the flame. She want me to try some things.
Well, it's already broke that. I mean, it did break it once and it weakened it, and now it's broken it again. See if it would extend it a little bit, see what we get. Now I've got to do this a different rule. So we gotta go secondary level. It's holding a secondary trend line, but this one's not near as strong as what we first started out with. So that actually kind of indicates a little bit of a rounding down, actually. So showing a little bit of weakness. Okay, this is a good area right here, support resistance. That's where it's going to have trouble, right here. So if you're conservative, a lot of us are not conservative on this channel. A lot of us are more toward the degen side. You've got your oh man, this thing's just spelled out level. We got your you got your 3 levels, man. Beautiful. Right there. Oh, sweet. So you got three trading levels right here. Oh, this one might be sweet to mess with. Let's lock those in. All right, I'm going to let this one be my last one. But you got some interesting trading strategies to work with on this one. So you got 3 levels that not you, you're not the coin, but that is traded in. Mostly through this one, and then we drop down here. So your safest bet, of course, is to wait till it gets back and breaks this level, flips it into support, and that's your safest way to do this whole scenario. That's at 329, which is not far from 305 that we're at now. Playing it under here, you could lose a little bit. This overall pattern here, this rising channel, is bearish, and meaning that we'll probably just come back down to the bottom of this range, which, it's got a little area here. There's also a little bit of a trend. Kind of put us pretty much right here, smack dab on this line, about 290. Should we come back down to this bottom range? It's also a little bit This is a good support area right here. Let's mark that guy. So this one's a good support area. I like that. And that's at what, 305? Just right at $3. $3 is strong support for this coin. So you don't have the cross, a bearish cross yet of the 9 and the 21 or the 9 over anything. So it's still got promise that it may have found support here in the 200. I'm on the 24 minutes, odd time frame, I know, but they all speak truth. You just have to read it. And some of them can give you more insight and more clarity than others. And this one seems to be pretty clear on what it's doing. Finding support here on the 200 moving average. It's got to get back above 308. It's at 308 now. It's got to be 309. Let's call it 309. This 9 moving average. 3086 and price is 3087. It's just not showing up on my candles because I'm on Heikinashi. Still not made it over here. It's got to get above the 50. It needs to get above all of these moving averages. They're going to be a headache for it right now. And it's under the green cloud. So it's facing some rejection right now. These wicks over here kind of give that. But this trend line right here has a high likelihood to hold. It's already found support on the 200. So yeah, I think you got room for another upswing, at least for another 25 cents, possibly, and then maybe more. But finding support on these areas, the golden pocket area. I think it's just got to struggle through this for a little bit. It looks like it's tried to double bottom here. Now the cool thing about a double bottom, especially with that top wick, once price does come back up to this 370 area, I mean, it can double. That'd be your measure move for a double bottom situation. If it does do that. Because double bottoms is pretty cool. And let's see where that measure move would, because what that does is establish a neckline. Once price comes back up here, we got a solid neckline. Maybe come up right up through there. I'm getting sloppy. I'm getting tired. And that could potentially shoot us back up to this area about 441, and measure move I actually got is 454. And what would that look like in return there? Getting at a breakout, if you breakout traded and played it safe, getting in safe around 330. That's about a 37%. If it comes back down, does a triple bottom scenario or something close to it, even down to this white trend, this white mark we had at $3. Let's say we come down there. Getting to the breakout area will be 10%. Getting up to our measure move will be about 50%. Getting up to the first area of real strong resistance, even from where we are now, is going to be right here at 377. It's going to have a hard time right here. So need to color that one red. But real possibility to get to 354 after it confirms a true double bottom. And the fact that it wicked up this high, that just makes it even more interesting. So 329, let me go ahead and mark these as resistance. So these red lines is where it's going to have a hard time getting above. But once it flips above 330, man, I think that would be a good entry to play this bigger section here. But you've got 3 ranges that you can play. And this range has about 14%. I don't know if you can do leverage on this or not. And that one has 16%. So a possibility to play within these ranges. I just think it's interesting. All right, guys, I have got to get out of here. I did the stream way too long. Nobody wanted to watch a long stream. Thank you guys for showing up, and if you can hit that like button.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Does help the streams reach out to more people and hopefully get more subscribers to come by. Till tomorrow night, and we'll check out the weekly close. Hopefully I'll see you then, and remember to turn my microphone on. Thank you for pushing through that. Good night, everybody.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable.
Good night, John boy.
You will start blue with an supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Sure you like my vibe, that's my candy on my wrist.